While some county functions are called county functions, sometimes the lack of commitment by the national government to enforce on rogue investors completely leave the counties, having their hands tied. Remember, our devolution was watered down when we took away, services like police service and prisons and all those enforcement out of counties so that counties have no such support mechanism. If I may just very quickly go to Magadi, the court ruled, the Senate ruled that Magadi pays the county of Kajiado 11 billion. Magadi found a way to hibernate with the national government saying it is arbitration or it is this court or this is happening. So we are not working in a coherent way as a country between counties and national government, and then rogue investors find an in-between route to find safety. And therefore, I agree with you. Some counties actually have sufficient revenue sources to run their counties. But that aspect is undermining it. I'm sure you have seen Amboseli in the headlines, but we'll get to that conversation when we come.
Okay. Senator Sifuna. Chair, there's something you have said that is borderline upsetting to me. Whether indeed this system called devolution was not something that Kenyans gave unto themselves and whether it is not a constitutional imperative. Personally, and I'll get into a lot of problems, but we have to say what we have to say. We
all get a lot of problems for defending devolution.
Governor, your problems will be more than mine. I'm just saying.
Let me be the regulator on how much problem it will cause.
Chair, if something is a constitutional imperative, and you have a national executive there, and we've gone through this conversation, for instance, Governor, you raise a valid point. We are still using the audited accounts of 3-5 years ago. I did the math, it is about 500 billion behind, which is denying counties, if you applied just 15% on that, almost 60 billion Kenya shillings, and it will resolve some of these issues. Secondly, there's a question of disbursements in terms of the regularity and predictability of that, disbursement. We have argued in the Senate that that disbursement schedule that we pass is of no use, because it's supposed to give governors and county executives some level of comfort that on the 15th of each month we will receive exchequer release. But when John Badi, for instance, comes to the Senate, he says that, oh, that thing is just there as a guide and that Treasury has to look at exchequer and so on and so forth. But we don't hear the same complaints when it comes to national government entities. Somehow their budgets never delay. I've never had the State House Comptroller, your friend, crying that State House has not received. In fact, the reports we see is that they have actually expended their monies way in advance, 9 months into the financial year. So we have tried to push that argument, Governor, that somehow that national treasury thinks it's a national government treasury, that the priorities of national government institutions actually are higher placed than the county governments. Some of us believe that it doesn't matter which geniuses you have in the county governments. If the national government is out to frustrate devolution, they will do it. And you will find these people sometimes struggling. Just even here in Nairobi, Senator, if you don't know when you're going to be paid, how do you know when